but this next brand president has got a communication platform that I think is going to be more disruptive than Zoom. And when I said, we didn't know about certain things, how many of you, ever since COVID, have found it easier to connect with people across the world and to get messages out, maybe to connect with family members, see new opportunities, things like this, right? So technology is pervasive in our lives. And this next brand president, a gentleman by the name of Darren Kidd, I met Darren a couple years ago. Darren had a thriving career in multiple businesses. You're going to see that he's got tons of energy. He's got tons of passion. And he has literally invited thousands and thousands of people to learn about this AI, learn about these blockchain projects, and he lifts up everybody's spirits. He is the king of communication, and it's appropriate that he has built a communication platform that has already reached almost every single country out there. I know he's got some exciting stuff to do. So Darren, my friend, I'm super excited to have you here. I wish you were here on stage with us, but I know that the weather had a different plan for you. So brother, just want to check in. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, awesome, my man. Good to see you, and thanks for having me.
You got it, man. Well, the floor is yours, buddy. I'll see you when we close out.
All right. Well, I'm looking on the screen, and I'm like, wow, I don't really need to be that big, but it is what it is. But listen, Scott did a great job, and the only difference in Scott and me is he is famous on TV. I'm only famous in my own mind and not really that famous. So a great job on that. But definitely excited for all of you. I'm very grateful to be here. Do me a favor, put in the chat one thing you're grateful for. So many times we have so many things that are stressing us out. We're adding up our problems instead of just counting the blessings. So what's one thing you're grateful for? Please put it in the chat. And for those of you that are sitting here today thinking, man, this is kind of overwhelming. I really don't understand what blockchain is, how all of this stuff works. Welcome to the club. That was me 2 years ago when I first heard about this. But that resistance is what caused me to pay attention. Because how many of you agree they don't tell us in school, teach us, hey, here's how you recognize the next big trend, the next big opportunity. Here's how you make a major impact in not only your community, your country, but the world. They don't teach us that. But we know, or I knew from watching very successful people that did those things, that when you have that resistance, when things are ridiculed and people are laughing at it and people don't understand it, that's exactly when you want to get involved, because that's where the opportunity is. How many of us know someone we're like, how in the world did that person have so much success? They're not that great, right? As far as like their talent, their abilities, sometimes there's a bigger T than the T in talent. It's the T in timing. And sometimes I'd rather be in the right place than be smart. And when it comes to the blockchain, when it's growing faster than the internet in 1996, when it's one of the fastest, blockchain is one of the fastest adopted technologies in history. When I saw the World Economic Forum going, listen, it's going to disrupt $867 trillion in traditional businesses, I'm like, that's when you pay attention. Even though I'm uncomfortable, even though I didn't understand it, I started digging in and I found out this, Will did a great job talking about Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, and all of us have the ability to position ourselves and make a big difference and a big impact. And so let's talk about our link. And thanks to you, we have become one of the most viral blockchain projects in history. So we're going to talk about the future of AI-powered communication and commerce, decentralized, empowered, and global. And once again, if you think of AI, like how many of us 2 years ago, we could be in a room and go, how many of you have used AI? And there were people in the room, hardly no one raised their hand. And then people are like, no way, I'm staying away from that. Well, today, if you ask that same question in a room, every single person has their hand raised, or they don't know they're using AI. They should raise their hand. So let's get right into it. The centralized prison. If you look at this graphic, okay, it's like we're puppets. How did we ever get, one of the biggest aha moments in my life is finding out that we can be enslaved by the environment or the people around us or the systems that we're used to and not even know it. Because when you look at Zoom, when you look at Google, when you look at Meta, right, Facebook, they own here we are, we pay them, they collect our data, they monetize our data, and we're paying to allow them to do it. And then not only that, we're going to bring our friends and our family and go, hey, why don't you come on and give them more money so they can own your data as well? We create the content, then they monetize the content. And here's the crazy part. We're living on rented space. Do you know how many people, and I've been a victim of this as well, have built their entire business on social media and different platforms. And all of a sudden, just like when there was a live streaming platform I was a part of and put on tens of thousands of people in a few months, and then everybody's like, man, Facebook is the next live stream. And so we all went to Facebook and they were giving us massive reach. And then all of a sudden, as soon as the other platforms disappeared, then they wanted us to pay for that reach. So it's not if they change the rules. The slide says if they change the rules, your entire business is at their mercy. It is when they change their rules. So let's talk about communication and commerce. They're converging globally, but they remain disconnected. Like no one owns an integrated solution until Arlink, right? So let me know in the chat if that sounds exciting to you. 3 trillion. That's the space that we're talking about, a $3 trillion space. And here's the great thing about what we're doing with Rally. Okay, Rally's the blockchain, Arlink is the brand. We have real products. We have real revenue. We have real impact. So we're not waiting from some future product. We have tools, we have products, we have services that create real economic pressure on the Rally token. So if you go look at what the token has done in the last week, it's up, 200%. Now, we don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict things. We can't guarantee things. We can't control the market. But what we can control is bringing great products and services. I mean, think about this. How many of you have heard of Dogecoin? Let me know if you heard of Dogecoin. Let me know in the chat how many things you can use Dogecoin for. 0. We'll just cut straight to it because of my time, right? What about, and Dogecoin has a massive community, right? Elon Musk tweeted about it one time and shot it up to 60 some cents a token. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen, right? What about the president of the United States? Doesn't matter if you like him or not. That's beside the point. He created a meme coin and in 48 hours had his net worth on paper was more than his entire real estate career. What about the coin Fartcoin? True coin. They reached $1 billion market cap. Fartcoin, not making this up. You can look it up, $1 billion market cap. Can you imagine the gas fees? Sorry, I know that's bad, right? The joke stinks, and so does the coin. All right, dad jokes, got to have some in there. All right, so here we have real products, real services, real revenue, and the problem is when you have all of these communication platforms and they own our data, they control it, we're living on rented land, and we have the solution to those problems. So here's why Arlink wins. Because if you look at the current state, most people up until now, they have a conversation platform. They don't have a conversion platform. Here we have AI powered, blockchain backed, commerce ready. And so Arlink is what Zoom should have become, plus the layer no centralized platform can touch, community ownership. How many of you follow Gary Vaynerchuk? Like Jim was just talking about that. Gary V is talking about it, and so many people have laughed at him over the years. If you really look at his story of how he took his family's wine business from a few million a year to tens of millions all through social media for free. This has been many years ago. So now he is the one that helps the big companies, I believe like Coca-Cola and Nike, and he is pretty much a lot of the times, most of the times, he is right on what is upcoming, what's new, what's trending. He is the one that told everyone recently, like just not that many years ago, hey, if you miss TikTok, you're missing one of the biggest transfers of wealth that you've ever missed. And people laughed at him. They're like, look, dude, it's a dancing app for children. And now we know the rest of the story. So if you listen to him now, everything is moving toward AI, communication, and commerce through social selling. Matter of fact, China, 30% of their revenue or is social selling. Their e-commerce. It is over $500 billion industry. And I was just reading an article saying that we are 7 to 10 years behind China when it comes to some of this stuff. And so, but not Rally, not Arlink. Okay, we're ahead of it. So look at the future. Arlink, right? You're seeing a difference. There's a completely different model. We're building the first AI communication and commerce blockchain. I was looking up some stats from WeChat. right before I jumped on here, can you guess how much revenue WeChat does? A communication platform that also encompasses commerce. $15 trillion with 1 billion transactions a day. So we have a platform where AI runs the communication layer, AI powers the commerce layer, and AI agents can automate the work that normally slows businesses down. So here's the future of R-Link. We had some people that we had sign NDAs. We recently showed a platform, previewed a platform we're going to launch at the end of January, beginning of February. And I will tell you, if you see the platform now, it's like a horse. It's great. It's better than Zoom. It's cheaper than Zoom. But if you see the one we're going to roll out first quarter, it is the difference between a horse and a buggy and a jet. Can you imagine real life or real time AI translation? Can you imagine if you have people in 15 different countries and 15 different languages? Not only are you seeing the transcriptions at the bottom of the page, but the person, every time you speak, you're speaking in the language of whatever that person chooses because of AI. How powerful is that? And your lips are syncing to that AI translation. What about AI meeting notes and summaries? What about you can search inside of a meeting? What about training AI avatars that speak any language that look just like you that can train and co-host a meeting? That is the future of R-Link. What about interactive CTAs? You can buy now, you can learn more. See, not just conversation, conversion. What about live selling automation? You can do live auction, look up Whatnot, right? Again, some of these apps that are doing billions and trillions of dollars. You can do AI product demos. You can have co-host. You can have a completely AI avatar host. And then also the AI-driven customer journey. We're going to have AI support agents. We're going to have follow-up agents. You know, most of the sale happens after the presentation, but most people fail in the follow-up series. So we're going to have AI community managers. We're going to have 24/7 automated onboarding, nurturing, and scheduling. It's going to be everything in one location. So when you use R-Link, you host meetings. When you sell, you teach, you coach, create. The entire ecosystem strengthens and you benefit from participation. Not the corporate extraction model, but the community reward circulation model. You reward what you want repeated. I don't use my ATM card at the gas pumps. I use my American Airlines card because I want to get rewarded. And here you're going to see the AI communication and commerce in action, everything you need in one seamless experience, from conversation to transaction to reward. So the traditional meeting chaos, you've got the CRMs, the community relationship management system. You've got emails, you've got text messages, you've got all of these different things. Well, here you're going to be able to do all of that in R-Link's smooth integrated experience, all in one, with our future products and the products we have now. So choose your future. Zoom extracts R-Link rewards. We're inviting you, we call it the Zoom killer. But now we're much more than just a video conferencing blockchain. We're an AI communication and commerce blockchain. We're inviting you to be a part of it. You may have been like me. You missed Uber. You missed Amazon. You missed Microsoft. You missed Airbnb. You don't have to miss this. So we're the world's first AI-powered communication and commerce platform that rewards people who use it. And we encourage you to join us next week. You know, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So we're going to give you free information that can help you make an educated decision. So make sure to click that QR code, scan it, click it, subscribe, and can't wait to see you next week. Have a great day, everyone.